tonight.
Hey, what's up guys? So as you can see in the title, bringing you another Snapchat Q&A, and I feel like it's been so long since I've done one of these, but today I asked you guys to send me your questions on Snapchat and I'll be answering them, answering everything and anything. So here we go with question number 1. Rocky XQ8 says, "Hey Mr. Fisher, how are you doing? My question is, can I totally replace pre-workout drinks with energy drinks like Monster? Keep it up and good luck." Well, honestly, a pre-workout is no more than a quick energy boost. So if you want to throw out your pre-workout and throw in a Monster, if that gets you going, that's honestly all a pre-workout is. A pre-workout isn't going to give you more gains. It's not going to make you a big, strong bodybuilder. It's not going to help you get super lean and shredded. A pre-workout is nothing more than a concentrated scoop of energy with some caffeine, some beta-alanine, some different other ingredients that they're going to throw in and call it a proprietary blend. So yes, you can 100% replace your pre-workout with a Monster, and honestly, I think it's probably going to be a healthier option, even though Monster isn't necessarily super healthy. By the way, I have been drinking these lately, these XS Energies. This is the Tropical Blast flavor, and it's got more natural ingredients than a Monster, and it's pretty good. So good, by the way. But nonetheless, yes, you can replace Monster, or you can replace pre-workout with Monster. Next question, Shoreen Wynn says, "Did you watch WrestleMania 33? Have you been to Colorado?" No, I have not been to Colorado. I would love to visit Colorado. It looks absolutely beautiful, like Denver or Boulder. Oh, seriously, it looks so nice out there. I would love to visit it. And did I watch WrestleMania 33? No, I didn't, but I watched the highlight where John Cena proposed to, shoot, I can't remember her name. But I watched that highlight, but no, I didn't watch WrestleMania 33. Grayson says, "What are your favorite carb sources for cutting?" When I'm cutting, I'm trying to find carb sources that really aren't going to be super calorically dense, so they're going to probably be fat-free, so like a rice cake or like pretzel crisps or just fruits and veggies. Those are probably going to be my favorite carb sources when I'm cutting, because I'm not trying to get a lot of fat or necessarily even protein from my carb sources when I'm cutting, because I don't have a lot of carbs to play with. So I want very, not simple carbs, but carbs that aren't going to be very calorically dense. So again, like pretzel crisps are fantastic. You can eat a lot of volume with those pretzel crisps, and you're not going to be getting a ton of calories. Like I said, rice cakes are super good and super simple, and then fruits and veggies are going to be your best bet for carb sources while cutting. Alright, so Dylan Faith says, "What advice would you give to someone wanting to build their chest / increase bench press frequency?" Well, increasing your bench press frequency is no more than just increasing the amount of days and the amount of workouts that you put bench press into. So if you want to increase your bench press frequency, just do it more often. And if you're trying to build up your chest, I would definitely say increasing the frequency of doing bench press and doing chest exercises, doing flies, just beating your chest up is going to help build it. And I also recommend focusing on your upper chest, because I didn't necessarily notice a lot of chest gains until I really started focusing on my upper chest with a very slight incline dumbbell press. That is my favorite exercise for building my upper chest, because I feel like with dumbbells working each side, you can really get a squeeze to the top rather than pressing like with a barbell. So that is my favorite exercise for building my upper chest, which in turn I feel like builds my overall chest, or at least makes it look bigger. But that's what I would say about that. David says, "Hey Tregg, who are your favorite fitness YouTubers to watch?" My favorite fitness YouTubers to watch, obviously Christian Guzman. He is like the king of fitness YouTube. Then probably Steve Cook, and I really enjoy watching David Lade. He's younger, but he's a Gymshark athlete. The dude is strong, he's super aesthetic, and he has an awesome personality. Like, he's just fun to watch. I feel like he'd be fun to hang out with too. So I would say David Lade, Steve Cook, and Christian Guzman are my favorites. I also like watching Max Tuning and the Online Coach as well. Chris Day says, question for your Q&A. Have you seen any of the best picture films this past year, and where would you rank them? Let me check to see which ones were nominated for Best Picture real quick. Alright, so the Best Picture nominees for 2017 were La La Land, Arrival, Lion, Hell or High Water, Hidden Figures, Moonlight, Hacksaw Ridge, Manchester by the Sea, and Fences. I have seen Arrival. That's it. I didn't see La La Land, didn't see Lion, Hell or High Water, Hidden Figures, Moonlight, Hacksaw Ridge, Manchester by the Sea, or Fences. I suck, I know, but no. I've only seen Arrival, and I absolutely loved it. So I guess Arrival would be the only one I can rank. Sorry, Chris. Brian Ray Suarez says, should you weightlift while on a cut or trying to lose fat? Absolutely. Like, lifting weights is going to boost your metabolism way more than cardio. You should absolutely be lifting weights way before you do any cardio if you're trying to burn fat, in my opinion, because when you're lifting weights, you're breaking your muscles down, and that soreness you feel when you've broken your muscles down is your metabolism continuously still trying to build your body back up. So when you feel that soreness for 24 to 48 hours after working out and lifting weights, that's your metabolism still rolling, trying to rebuild your body. Now, if you get on a piece of cardio equipment, like you're running or you're on the elliptical, and you get off that piece of cardio equipment, you're breathing heavy, and by the time you catch your breath 15-20 minutes later, your metabolism is back to a steady state. So if you really are wanting to cut and lose body fat, lifting weights is going to be your best bet, because it's going to expedite that process, and you're going to do it much more efficiently, much quicker. And honestly, the last thing you want to do is run your muscle off by just doing cardio. So I would definitely say lifting weights is something you should 100% be doing while cutting and keeping and while your calories are in a deficit. Good question, very good question, because a lot of people have that misconception that they think they should only be doing cardio while they're cutting. So great question, Brian. Next question, Joseph Ward says, how do you fix pec imbalance resulting from one side taking over when benching? So in my opinion, I would say work each side individually. So by pressing, like doing a bunch of bench press, doing different things like that, if you're only using a barbell, a lot of times one side will be a little stronger than the other, so you might be pushing a little unevenly, and that will build a pec imbalance. So if you can get dumbbells or get cables or something like that to work each side separately and really get a squeeze on that side that is a little bit imbalanced or a little bit smaller or whatever, that is going to be your best bet to really fix that imbalance, because if each side is working equally, then each side is going to be growing equally, rather than letting one side work more or less than the other with a barbell. So I would definitely say make sure dumbbells and cables are a staple of your chest workouts. Alright, so Logan Rogotsky says, I probably messed that up, are you going to release more Tregg Fisher Fitness apparel on your site, and what power lift would you want to have the world record on? Squat, bench, or deadlift? First off, I don't have any plans in the near future to do any more Tregg Fisher Fitness apparel on my site. I am working on some other things, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's coming out anytime soon. But I guess they're yes, in the future there will be more apparel on my site, but right now it's probably not going to be for at least 6 months. So hopefully that answers your question there. And what power lift would I want to have the world record on? Squat, bench, or deadlift? Deadlift. Holy, that would be so cool to be able to pick up more weight than any human being on planet Earth. That would be sick. I think so, at least. So deadlift would be the one I'd want to have the world record on. Alright, so next question, suck. SUCC, I don't know how to pronounce that, says, for Q&A, what's your opinion on the keto diet, and should you follow one if you want to cut or just stick to the basic calorie deficit? And also, when you cut calories, you do need to take more protein, right? Because otherwise you will first lose muscle mass and then fat. So I'm going to be completely honest, I'm not super educated on the keto diet, so I can't necessarily tell you if it's better or worse. In my opinion, first you have to find out what works best for you, because the keto diet might work fantastic for one person and another person might completely stall out on it and it not work at all. So if there's a personal trainer or somebody telling you that a certain diet is the one, like they swear by this certain diet, everybody needs to do it or they're not going to see results, that person, I would definitely steer clear from them, because each diet works differently for each person. Everybody's body is different. So I wouldn't necessarily say the keto diet or just a pure calorie deficit is better or worse. In my opinion, first and foremost, you need to be in a calorie deficit if you're trying to lose weight and cut body fat, because cutting calorie or like losing body fat and losing weight in its simplest form is just purely calories in versus calories out. So you have to be in a caloric deficit first and foremost. But would the keto diet be better or worse? I can't say, just because I'm not educated enough on it. But when you cut calories, do you need to be taking in more protein? No, you don't need to be taking in necessarily more protein. Just keep your protein the same as when you were bulking. About 1.1 to 1.3 grams per pound is what I kind of go by. Some people might say more, some people might say less. I try to shoot in that area, that gap between 1 and 1.5. Somewhere around 1.1 to 1.3 is where I usually try to aim for me personally. But again, everybody's body is different. You have to learn what works best for you. Next question, Nick JD333 says, Q&A question, what do you think is the worst exercise? The worst exercise? Man, anything to do with cardio is the worst exercise. I would say probably one of the worst. I would say every exercise done improperly with bad form is the worst exercise. So I wouldn't say any exercise is the worst. I would say every single exercise out there done wrong with bad form is the worst exercise. That's my honest answer for this question. Jeremy says, do you believe in any conspiracies, expectations for The Last Jedi? Do I believe in any conspiracies? I guess aliens. I don't know if that's really a conspiracy or anything. I would definitely say aliens exist. I think that we've probably even discovered them. Like, you might think I'm crazy for saying that. I just think the universe is way too big for there not to be other life forms. Even if there's simple life forms out there. Like, I might seem crazy, but oh well, that's just my opinion. That's why it's a conspiracy. But my expectations for The Last Jedi, I think it's going to be fantastic. I think it's going to be very interesting to see where they take like the character of Kylo Ren after being defeated by Rey at the end of 7. I think what they do with him and kind of how they incorporate Snoke on a more like personal basis, because hopefully they tell us more about Snoke. I'm very interested and intrigued with that character. I want him to be more hands-on in this movie, especially with Kylo Ren's training. And then also Benicio del Toro's character as the Man in Black. I kind of want to know what they're going to do with him. And Luke Skywalker. Like, give us more Luke Skywalker, and please let him use a lightsaber in this movie. Please, please. So my expectations for The Last Jedi, I think it's going to be fantastic. I'm really excited for it. So, yes, I think it's going to be very good. Guns and Stuff 100 says, what do you think about all the YouTube drama going on with Bradley Martin? Bradley Martin and Callum's like YouTube beef or whatever, I think is kind of, I'm not going to say dumb, because Callum has his reasons for being upset with Bradley. I don't know the intricate details of it. I try to avoid all the like YouTube beef stuff, because like I really like Bradley Martin. I'm a big fan of his. I'm a big fan of like what he kind of stands for and what he does. But I can't ignore the fact that he did screw over Callum a little bit. But then again, like, it's business. Like, you've got your friends, but at the end of the day, YouTube is a business for Bradley. So he needs, like, he's always going to be thinking about money, money, money. Same with Callum. I mean, Callum is a super personable guy, but everybody that has YouTube and uses it as a means of like income, at the end of the day, they have to be thinking about money. It's just the plain nature of it. If they're using like YouTube as a source of income, That's just the way it's going to be. So what do I think about it? I think it's actually kind of past. I don't think it's necessarily a big deal anymore. Callum's doing his own thing now. Bradley's still doing his thing. So that's kind of what I think about that. All right, guys. So next question, Danny Fosani says, Snapchat Q&A, what do you think the right amount of sets and reps are for benching if I want more definition in my chest? If you want more definition in your chest, the definition is just going to come from probably being leaner if you've built up a big enough chest. So I would definitely say if you're just wanting to do bench press, I would just say a simple 5x5 and then letting your diet kind of do the defining, I guess, if that's kind of what you're asking. So I would definitely say a simple 5x5 is going to help kind of like build your chest, and then your diet, if you're in a caloric deficit and you've already built a pretty decent chest, that's going to probably bring in more definition. So that's what I would say for that. Jack the Great 98 says, hey Tregg, I think I missed the last Q&A, but I gotta ask my annual question. Have you watched Spirited Away? I have not, and I suck. I say that every time. I really have to watch it. I might actually watch it tonight because I have literally nothing going on. So remind me to watch Spirited Away tonight.
Okay, I'll remind you.
Thank you, British Surrey. Alright, so I am now reminded to watch Spirited Away tonight, which I will do. Also, what is your all-time least favorite exercise to do and why? My all-time least favorite exercise to do is bench press. I know that might sound crazy. It's like bench press is everybody's favorite. For me, I'm not a big fan of it. Like for me, it's hard to see a lot of progress in my bench press. And I just don't see a lot of natural growth in my chest from bench press. So to me, it's kind of like, this sucks that I don't see a lot of growth in my chest from bench press, and I also don't see the weight going up that much compared to like my squats and my deadlifts. So bench press is my least favorite exercise. Go figure, because chest day is my favorite day. Next question, entirely awesome, says, hi, couldn't decide on one question, so I might as well ask all of them. What fictional character do you identify with the most, and if you could get to marry one, which would it be? And what actor would play you in a movie about your life? Might as well add that you look like Hugh Jackman. So, keep up the good work, and if you're ever in Slovenia, let us know. Have a good one, Kaya. So, thank you for the question. I think that's the first question I've ever got from Slovenia. So, shout out to you. Thank you so much for the question. I do get told quite often that I look like Hugh Jackman. So I would say Hugh Jackman would play me in kind of like a futuristic role of like what my life might turn out to be like in my future. So I would say Hugh Jackman would play me. And then what fictional character do I identify with the most? And if I could marry a fictional character, who would I marry? That's a good question. So the fictional character I identify the most with would probably be Aladdin. Now you're saying, Tregg, you don't look like you've grown up on the streets. However, it's not like the street rap part, it's the finding yourself part. Going through my life, I've always kind of been trying to find myself, kind of looking at like different places like the palace, like someday I'll live there, and then almost creating like a fake persona, like not a fake persona because like I've always been me, but trying to be something that you're not. Like growing up, I always tried to like fit in or pretend and be somebody that I wasn't, and it was finally like once I was in college that I realized like no, people are going to most, like the person they're going to love most is the real me. Like I shouldn't try to be somebody I'm not. I shouldn't try to be a prince if I'm not a prince. I should try to be like me and be the best me I can be, just like Aladdin. And if I could marry any fictional character, it'd be Jasmine. Like gosh, like is she not like the most beautiful Disney princess out there? So I would say I would marry Princess Jasmine, and I would say I identify most with Aladdin, so I guess it kind of works perfectly. Next question, Nick Morgan says, favorite movie? Jurassic Park, of course. Favorite movie of all time. Like I've seen it probably 100 times all the way through. I definitely know for a fact I've seen it over 100 times all the way through. I have no life if I've seen that movie that many times, but I know for a fact I have. But Jurassic Park is my favorite movie of all time. Absolutely love it. It defined my childhood, made me fall in love with like science fiction and dinosaurs, made me want to be a paleontologist when I was growing up. Like Jurassic Park, that's my favorite. Last question for this Q&A. Christian Lyle says, Yo Tregg, have you seen Batman the Animated Series? I have, and actually, hold on one second. Ta-da! I have it on DVD. I have Volume 1. That's funny you asked that. So yes, I have seen Batman the Animated Series, and it's fantastic. Alright, so that's going to wrap up this Snapchat Q&A, so thank you, sincerely thank you, to every single one of you guys that send in questions, because honestly, I say this every single time, but without interacting with you guys, social media is not like, what's the point of social media without interaction? So thank you so much to everyone that's sending questions. By the way, if you are watching this video and you're not following me on Snapchat yet, you can go in the description box below, click on that link if you're watching on a mobile device, and you can add me there, or you can just go to Snapchat and just add me at Tregg Fisher. You can basically find me on any social media, just at Tregg Fisher, because it's a pretty unique name, so as long as you search Tregg Fisher, you're going to find me on everything. So, thanks again so much for watching, guys. If you liked the video, make sure to like the video. If you haven't subscribed, go hit that red subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace!